It is day number 3, which means it is Championship Sunday here in New Orleans. It's all about the culture here, the food, the celebration, and the party. But this weekend is all about the return of the AVP. We are down to the final match on the women's side. It is the women's final here at the 2022 New Orleans Open, taking place here at the Coconut Beach Volleyball Complex. And the crowd has come out to support the local girls. The number 2 seed of Kloth and Kristen Nuss will be taking on Kelly Cheng and Betsy Flint. I'm Dane Blanton alongside Cameron Irwin. And Cameron, you got to tell me, these teams 1 and 2 battling one another. What should we expect from Kloth and Nuss?
Well, you're going to expect some high-level volleyball from this pairing. The champs from just a few weeks ago, the first stop on the tour in Austin, Texas. Kloth on the near side, on the right side of the screen. She is a dynamic and physical blocker you have to watch out for. But Kristen Nuss, she is an absolute surgeon out there. You have to pay attention to her in the side-out game. Her ability to place the ball offensively at only 5'6" is just outstanding. And the way she chases down the ball is remarkable. But on the other side, the number 1 seed of Betsy Flint and Kelly Cheng. They are looking for their first title together on the AVP Tour. And I will also tell you, one of the top teams, not only domestically, but also internationally. This is a team that loves the option play and also can move the ball around just as much offensively. Betsy Flint, yeah, she brings the pace and she brings the versatility with her offense. Lots of expanse for those two.
Well, thanks a lot, Cameron. This is going to be an amazing matchup. So let's go down to center court to Mark Sherman for the player introduction.
Oh, well, welcome inside Stadium Court. An absolutely phenomenal weekend. The weather is incredible. This crowd is incredible. This is New Orleans, and let's go, baby. This team coming in as the number 1 seed in the tournament, and they are ready to turn it around from what happened in Austin. They are ready to get their first win in 2022 right here in New Orleans. His first player, back-to-back national champion out of the University of Southern California. She's got her game face on. She always has her game face on, whether it's video games, anime, whatever it is, whether it's playing volleyball. Ladies and gentlemen, Miss Kelly Cheng. And her partner. She is dialed. She is locked. She has been locked in all weekend long because right now, Betsy, is what you've been playing for. Now is the moment in front of a potentially hostile crowd. But if anyone can turn them around, yeah, it's you. Ladies and gentlemen, out of Phoenix, Arizona, and LMU, this is Betsy Flint. And their opponents, oh yes, they travel with the purple, don't they? Oh, what a moment for you two. This is tournament, let's see, number 1, 2, 3, 4 this year? 5, number 5? I think you've won 3 of them. You won all the way across the world in Australia. You won in Austin. You went and won in Turkey. But now you're home. This is the one you want. This first player out of right here in Metairie, Louisiana. The pride of LSU, the winningest player in beach volleyball college history, Kristen Nuss. And her partner, the pride of Sioux Falls, South Dakota. She came on down to Baton Rouge, and she was welcomed, wasn't she? Ah, yes. 3 years on the beach, in her last year going undefeated with Kristen. She is a dominant force at the net who gets better every time she steps out there. Let me hear it for Kloth. Kristen.
Well, how about that? We are all set see this very often. Number one versus number two going up against one another. Cameron, you got to think that Kloth and Nuss have been on fire, but they have the advantage being the local girls who both played for LSU, with Kristen Nuss being a hometown girl.
Yeah, without a doubt, the home court advantage is in full effect right now for Kloth and Nuss. But it's also important to note, when the hostile environment was brought up in Betsy Flint's introduction, she looked straight into the camera and said, yes, and I love it. She loves the fact that this crowd is on the other side.
And there's a good look at Kristen Nuss. She plays the right side, was so dominant this team was in their senior season at LSU with a 36-0 record. She's only 5'6", but she knows how to cut it up. She's a surgeon out there, but she all possesses the power. Nice shot with Kelly.
That's a great shot from
Clays.
Kelly Cheng.
Oh, I think I already did it, right, Cameron? I knew I was going to do it. Call her Kelly Clays. She is Kelly Cheng, newly married to Jordan Cheng, who also happens to be her coach.
And interesting, they start a little bit more on Taryn Kloth in terms of the side-out game. It's always intriguing to me to see who teams will go after. Will they go after Kristen Nuss and have to run down all of her shots and also deal with the pace that she still can bring? Or do they go with Taryn Kloth, who is very dynamic, likes to hit the ball, and has a really high contact point?
Beautiful serve by Kloth. Puts Betsy Flint pinned to the right side, but Flint is able to just roll it over the net. You know, no team really has figured out how to beat them. Cameron, what do you do against Kloth and Nuss? Do you go to Kristen Nuss or do you go to Kloth?
I think it depends on what your strengths are as a team. Nice ball, though, from Taryn Kloth as she chops that over. So if you feel like you've got a good read on Taryn Kloth, you have a big dynamic blocker you can put in front of her and try and shut down some of her angle swing, then maybe that's the direction I would go if I don't want to necessarily be chasing the ball down from Kristen Nuss. But if you don't have that massive or that big dynamic blocker, then you might want to go to Kristen Nuss and roll the dice and chase the ball.
The pokey up and over the defender.
Nonetheless, it is going to be an absolute battle right here, and Cheng and Flint are going to have to play some of their best volleyball if they're going to take down the white-hot Kloth and Nuss. They have been playing lights out recently and winning in Austin, the first event in 2022 on the AVP tour. And so who can stop the momentum? That's the big question.
And so far, Cheng and Flint have stayed pretty aggressive in terms of their service pressure at Taryn Kloth. That's one of their strengths as well. We have seen time and time again, Cheng and Flint just continue to up their service pressure. It's not just velocity, it's placement and location. And they have done a really nice job of that throughout this tournament. There's some pace from Kelly Cheng.
5-3. Make it 5-3 for Kelly and Betsy.
Couple nice little touches up there at the net by Kelly Cheng. And again, she's got a nice read so far on Taryn Kloth, and she's making some plays. And nearly an ace too.
Yeah, I like how Kelly Cheng has come out and been aggressive here from that back line. You got to put pressure on Kloth and Nuss. That's the only way you're going to defeat them, is to get them out of system and try to disrupt their flow. Here comes Kelly Cheng, and she sees the court well right there. Cross court right on the line.
She sees the court well, but she also has a great partner in Betsy Flint, who actually you could see dropped her eyes, turned her head to the right, and then stayed steady and gave her that late call so she knew what was available to her.
There's a good look at what Kristen Nuss can do to you right there. Looks like she's going to hit, goes to the deep corner. There's a good look at their road to the final. Perfect 4-0 to get to this point.
Yeah, important to note, though, that one we were so excited to watch between Tony Rodriguez and Savvy Simo in these two last night. Nice pickup, though. Oh, nearly stays in bound. You can see the speed of Kristen Nuss on display. but last night, Tony Rodriguez went down with an injury, so she had to retire. So they moved on throughout that match, but that was going to be an epic battle between those two teams.
Yeah, that was really unfortunate. We haven't gotten word on what that injury was, but it's never good when a match has to end. And there is
Kelly
Cheng crushing the ball cross court. You know, when Kelly Cheng is involved and when you're serving her, she plays a different type of volleyball. She really gets engaged. She starts playing a lot more physical rather than when she's not getting served. She pokes it around a lot and does that option play more.
Interesting, something to pay attention to. There's some physicality on the side of Kloth and Nuss.
Eight, 6, Cheng and Flint switch.
It looks like Kelly Cheng got a little tossed up there. Wasn't sure if she wanted to pull. You saw the late move, but at that point it was a little too late of a decision.
Here comes Kloth right down the middle. Flint puts up the option and Kelly Cheng able to put it away. Cameron, let's talk a little bit about the conditions out here. It's been pretty ideal for beach volleyball, but a little hot.
Yeah, without a doubt. You know, it's definitely been in those 90-degree mark, the humidity up to 50%. So sweat definitely a factor on the ball. The hand setting always makes you a little extra nervous. But the wind, it only says it's about 4 miles per hour, but I will say it's a little bit more than that because it has played a big effect in terms of good side, bad side throughout Championship Sunday. A lot of points being scored on that right side of your screen, both on the men's and women's side.
Nice shot right there, Cameron. Talking about good side, bad side. When the wind is in your face, that is the good side. You can rip the ball. When the wind is at your back, the ball flies a little further, and you can't be quite as aggressive. Right now, Flint and Cheng are on that bad side. This is a look at the TNS dig of the day right there. Betsy Flint not only able to dig it perfectly, but she puts it away.
Yeah, the TNS dig of the day, beautifully done. Betsy Flint full send. And the shot using the entire length of the court there. That's incredible play from the #1 seed.
I have to say, this is a bit of a surprise right now. Cheng and Flint, complete domination, 13-6 right now, putting all sorts of pressure, and we haven't seen the LSU girls out of sorts like this in some time.
Well, and they've kind of lulled Kristen Nuss to sleep a little bit. They started on Kloth. Now they're serving this short angle and ended up with that tough serve the last ball as well from Betsy Flint. Kloth with the size advantage there. Nice reach from the 6'4" blocker.
Yeah, it's like, when is she not going to have that size advantage, right? She is a dominant force up at the net. Just in comparison, Kelly Cheng, just 6'2". Just.
Option.
Kelly Cheng.
Wow.
14-7. Quick start.
Kelly Cheng bangs it for a 14-7 lead.
This is KT Tape match of the day. Make sure you stop by KT Tape Hoops before the end of the day. Learn how to reduce muscle soreness to help you.
Kloth and Nuss struggling in this one, but I told you they have been on fire. Let's take a look at a couple of weeks ago in Austin.
This is the Austin Open Women's Final. The stage is set, the sand is hot, and we are ready to roll.
Let's see what happens here.
The 6th match, making the 7th now for Humana Fredis and Kloth and Nuss. Nuss with a nice puck falling off the net. So plenty of volleyball played on the side of Kloth and Nuss.
Open net. Oh yeah, she snapped that from her elbow. She was so high.
Kloth and Nuss. Now at match point, they are one play away from being the Austin Open champions. They go at Nuss. We are Austin Open champions. Kristen Nuss and Taryn Kloth.
Here we go, Kelly serving 14-7.
Wow, some impressive volleyball by Kloth and Nuss. Remember last year in Atlanta, 2021, they won their first professional event on the AVP tour, and they have not looked back as Kloth crushes that one down the middle.
And it wasn't just their first title, it was also their first tournament on the AVP. It was remarkable. Everyone had talked about these two girls coming out 36-0, their last year at LSU, their first competition on the AVP tour, and they win it all. And guess what? Who was in that final against them? Kelly Cheng right there, playing alongside Sarah Sponson. So Cheng wants another shot at these two for sure.
Yeah, it's crazy to think, you know, at this point, Cheng has played in 28 AVP events, and she still has that one victory from back in 2017 with Sarah Hughes. So she's looking to get back to the winner's circle, and she's playing like it right now as we see Kristen Nuss, the surgeon, cutting it up.
Yeah, this is one of her most beautiful shots. The cut shot from the right side. She does such a nice job. She actually baits you a little bit, keeping those shoulders into the line and then finishing that hand and wrist towards the left side.
Well, it plays right there with a roll shot that is just about a foot long. So given one back, 15-10, Cheng and Flint.
That's actually one of the other wrinkles we have kind of yet to see from Cheng and Flint, and that is Cheng working to the right sideline, varying their offense in terms of where they're attacking from. It's something that they're more than capable of doing, but they've kind of just put it in their back pocket and have been able to pull it out when it's needed.
Oh, wow. How about a poke right there with extreme angle? She just crushed that ball just a few feet from the net.
That thing was cracked, and she did that only with her wrist because she was at full extension at that point. That was remarkable.
Kelly plays, comes right back, and she to the corner. Doesn't matter how you get it to the stand, banging it straight down or shooting it still equals a point. Cheng and Flint, 17-11.
Cheng and Flint still feeling really comfortable, steady here, even though there has been a few more points going the direction of Kloth and Nuss. Just simple side out to take the first set.
Nuss for two.
Shot over the block by Kristen Nuss. Her vision is just remarkable. It's almost like she has two sets of eyes. One is locked in on the defender, the other locked in on the ball. Kristen Nuss with the jump serve. This time to Flint, and over on the second contact is Kelly Cheng. Kelly Cheng. Sometimes that over on two really is working well. Other times the defense is ready to go. She has to be very selective when she's going to use it.
Yeah, and her decision-making continues to improve on that from the time she stepped on the sand as a professional. Now another great cut shot falls the direction of Kristen Nuss. There is a lot of space there to work with if Kristen Nuss continues to get set like that.
It seemed like Cheng and Flint were going close, and Kloth was they were scoring some points. Now they decided to go to Nuss quite a bit, and she's starting to get into a groove. Wow, Kelly Cheng just crushing it on two.
Yeah, and you gotta love the option play. We talk about it so often, decision making, right? That was a great decision because Taryn Kloth was still running up to the net after the serve, so plenty of time and space for Kelly Cheng to take that option ball.
Well, I'll tell you what, the damage has been done. Cheng and Flint are going to get into that kind of side out mode. They just need to side out a couple more times and they will have this first set. They are hitting A whopping 79%. Cheng and Flint just dominating on the offensive attack.
Set point, Cheng and Flint.
And that's a donut ball. We're going to call it right there. Those two just having a good little laugh after that. That was something that you rarely ever see, the serve not even making it to the net. You just got to laugh that one off, Kristen Nuss.
Set point number 1 for Flint and Cheng. They'll have an opportunity here. Flint going for it from about 10 feet off the net, and that thing is denied. So we'll switch sides, 20-15.
You have to love the defensive adjustment there by Cheng and Flint. Instead, they put Cheng blocking that cut shot late, and they put Betsy Flint a little bit more into the line in the late move. So it was a nice defensive setup, just wasn't able to execute in the transition.
Nice pass by Cheng, and then a nice loopy shot to the angle across court for the winner. And Cheng and Flint take care of the first set, and it is in impressive fashion right there.
And it is time for the KTJ Tug of War. Ah, yes. Where is my Tug of War room? Where is my Tug of War room? Where's
Cheng and Flint absolutely dominant with plays like this right here. This is the Wilson play of the day. Look at Flint just teeing up Cheng at the net. Nobody there, just crushing it. That's how you make it to the Wilson play of the day, making it look easy.
Yeah, great ball control from those two.
Well, all the way up the road from Baton Rouge, we got the Wannabes. Who are dressed up.
Well, there you have it. The number 1 seed jumping on the number 2 seed early in this first set. Set number 2 coming up next.
We all know it's a good idea to recycle. But what happens to that aluminum can or all that paper after you put it in the recycling bin? Where does it go? What does it become in its second life? See how WM is always working for a sustainable tomorrow at WM.com/stories.
Get ready for a whole new wave of White Claw. New full flavor White Claw Surf. Sensational refreshment for a taste like no other.
Well, it's good to be back here in New Orleans. We're at the Coconut Beach Volleyball Complex for the 2022 Pro Series New Orleans Open. We are in the women's final right now. Number 1 versus number 2. Set number 1 going to Cheng and Flint as we take a look at the stats.
Yeah, and I mean, you can see right there, just in terms of efficiency, as we have another great battle going on screen as well, with Team Pirate taking the victory. But 7-14 in terms of a hitting efficiency is rather remarkable. I think that really stems a lot from the service pressure that those two were able to apply. They started on Kloth, then moved to Kristen Nuss. They moved the ball around, and then they also paired it off with some great option plays off the hand of Kelly Cheng. So really like what I'm seeing from the number 1 seed, but I would be shocked if Kristen Nuss and Kloth weren't able to figure a few things out here and just get a little bit more as they're stoked on a butterfly flying across their booth. But I wouldn't be surprised if they just clean up some of those first contacts, get into a little bit of an offensive rhythm in the side-out game. I think that might have been a good luck butterfly, Dane.
I think they're hoping it is, that's for sure. But they are in good spirits, even though they had a rough first set. And that is because Kelly Cheng absolutely caught fire. She had 14 attempts in that first set. Guess how many kills? 13. Just one error, hitting 857. If you're Kloth and Nuss, Cameron, do you continue to keep her involved, or do you try to take her out of this?
Yeah, I mean, that's the hard part. A lot of times people have stayed away from going at Betsy Flint to try and negate the option play of Kelly Cheng. But other times, if you feel like you've got a good read on where Kelly likes to hit the option play too, maybe it's time you get a little more aggressive going at Betsy and trust Kristen Nuss playing backcourt defense.
The roll shot at Flint is all over it. If she converts, yes, he does. So it's Flint and Cheng picking up right where they left off in the first set.
How about that full layout from Betsy Flint? That was remarkable. The body control to be able to dig that ball, stand up, check down, see the approach, and the defense.
I have to say, Cameron, this is some of the best volleyball that I have ever seen Kelly Cheng play, and I've known Kelly for some time. I coached her while she was at USC in 2015, 16, and 17, and when she gets like this, you better watch out. And I think she is tired of being the #1 seed and not coming out victorious. She would like to get back to that winner's circle, and her body language shows it.
Yeah, without a doubt, very fierce in her approach. And the option again.
Everything really going the way of Cheng and Flint right now. They're serving tough. They have really gotten Kloth and Nuss out of scored. Another tough serve down the line.
And some pace from Kristen Nuss. You know, it's interesting. A lot of times you might be wondering, with Taryn Kloth, a 6'4" attacker, very dynamic, and her partner Kristen Nuss now seeing some of the side out as well, the ball going her direction. Maybe Taryn Kloth, she's newer still to the beach game, still developing, as she was a great indoor player at Creighton, then transfers to LSU. There's another option. But that could be a piece of Taryn Kloth's game as she continues to progress through her beach volleyball career.
It's amazing to think how young these two are and how quickly they have climbed up the ladder. And look at the jumbo, shrimp, or rainbow to the corner, whichever you want to call it. Kristen Nuss putting on a little shooting exhibition here.
A little shrimp and grits from Kristen Nuss.
4-3, Cheng and Flint on the first side change. All the pressure right now on the side of Kloth and Nuss. Cheng and Flint have really been playing as well as possible. Everything seems to be going their way. This looks like a different team than what we saw in the semifinal. They're aggressive, they're assertive, they're ready for every single shot, and it seems like they've scouted well.
I'd 100% agree. They look laser focused, and I'm going to still go back to that moment as an ace is dialed up off the hand of Kelly Cheng. I'm going to go back to the introductions and Mark Sherman saying it's a hostile environment. Betsy Flint, without wavering, looked right at the camera and said, and I love it. She is dying to play in this environment, back against the wall, #1 seed. She wants another title. Her last was back in 2019, and she's ready for one here.
Oh, wow, and it just keeps on pouring on. And that's an interesting observation, right, Cameron, that you said some players thrive off maybe a hostile environment. You'd think that the girls from Louisiana, they would have the crowd behind them, but maybe that just fired up, maybe poked the bear, woke up Cheng and Flint, and we're seeing the result of it right now.
Make it 8-3.
Yeah, and you're seeing it even from the service line. If you haven't noticed, I mean, we talked about it earlier on, Kelly Cheng has one of the nastiest hybrid serves, and meaning that she can toss the ball with two hands and still add pace and topspin after a two-handed toss. Traditionally, you'll see that with a one-handed toss, flicking it and giving some spin before actual contact. But not only is it a hybrid serve that's difficult, she rips the ball down the line, and the last few balls that she's really caused problems with, she's going the opposite direction. So meaning she's got range. Not only can she go down the line with that tough serve, but she's forcing them to have to play that deep corner as well on the left.
Well, if you can see the communication They are laser locked in, and let's take a look at the Monster Hydro monster block of the day so far. Kloth trying to rip it against Kelly Cheng, and Cheng up and over. Timing is perfect. Look at her crouch, press at the right time, and keeping Nuss and Kloth on their heels. I'll tell you what, Kelly Cheng is on fire right now. Everything's going well. She's making the right decision. And that's our Monster Hydro monster block of the day. 21-15, 8-3 here in the second. It's been all Cheng and Flint.
And that is a great shot from Kloth. I love that. She just got blocked into the angle. That's where a lot of teams will put the block up against her, because she, as an outside coming to the beach, loves that heavy angle, as many do. So I like that she sees that and goes down the line. Nice little chop shot from Kloth.
Kloth rips that serve just out of bounds. If you're wondering, have these two teams matched up before? Well, the answer is yes. It was just a couple of weeks ago in Austin. They met in the semifinal. It was Kloth and Nuss winning 21-19, 21-13.
And Nuss would have put away with an inside switch at 5-9.
Nice snap by Kristen Nuss, recognizing the pulling block in front of her. A couple different ways when you see that pulling block. A lot of times you can go straight at the pulling defender, but it's also great trying to find some space. Can they make plays outside of their body and get their feet stopped to be able to do so?
Nice pass by Flint, and there is Cheng going over. I think that might be the first decision that didn't work out her way of this entire match. So, good idea for execution.
And I'd say right now, Cheng and Flint just need to be a little bit careful. They have a 4-point differential, but if that gets anywhere closer, this crowd, well, they're gonna go firing on the side of Kloth and Nuss, and that's just a little bit too dangerous for Cheng and Flint. They need to be wary of it.
Kelly Cheng out of the middle of the court, the jump hybrid right down the middle, and Nuss passes it well. A free ball shot, and there goes Cheng with an over on 2, and it is the wrong decision. Could have set her partner, Betsy Flint, and Kristen Nuss was all over that one.
Yeah, that was a remarkable play there by Kristen Nuss. Watch this pickup. Great read off the set, but even then, I saw that last side out ball in the pass from Kristen Nuss, and I'm going, Taryn, just take a rip at it.
Right up the gut in the seam, Betsy.
But I do like the creativity. You know, I think Cheng is kind of feeling it, and she's going for it. She's throwing out some shots that traditionally will go down against your average defender, but Nuss is not your average defender.
And another good snap from Kristen Nuss. So I'm more referring to Taryn Kloth going up and taking that option play. And again, great recognition as Betsy Flint has to shade into the line there with Cheng pulling into the angle.
Okay.
Betsy Flint stepping up right there. You know, they've changed kind of the strategy, right? Kloth and Nuss were going to Cheng exclusively, and they said, you know, if you're going to get 13 kills out of 14, we better start switching up our strategy. But now Flint is stepping up.
And the ace for 13.
Kelly Cheng is unstoppable right now from the service line. Just to give viewers at home a little bit of a heads up what that ball feels like. I mean, it's coming probably at least 30 to 35 to 40 miles an hour in terms of speed. It comes at such a high trajectory too. It's going to be hitting you high at your chest. And if you've ever played the game of volleyball, anything that's hitting there, oh man, it's hard on your feet to have to work into that.
So 21-15 in the first, they're up 13-8 in the second. Cheng and Flint trying to get into the winner's circle.
It's the choices we make that define us.
Tryon Trevor's coming off a tough, heartbreaking loss.
And ultimately, The enemy is within. Some people want it. Some wish for it. But others make it happen.
Trying Trevor, super lethal, bringing fire and passion to the court.
How will you take charge?
Welcome back to New Orleans for the 2022 New Orleans Open here at the Coconut Beach Volleyball Complex. We are in the women's final. Dane Bland alongside Cameron Irwin. And who would have expected the fireworks that we've seen out of Cheng and Flint right out of the gate? They have kind of stunned Kloth and Nuss. And Kloth and Nuss still trying to get their footing, still trying to get comfortable out here on center court.
And that's going to help right there. Good vision from Terran Kloth. And I was going to mention earlier, it's notable how much Cheng and Flint are taking a look after they set the ball and communicating what's available to them. On that last play, the same exact thing is happening now for Kloth and Nuss, because the defenders are making some really solid plays and reads, so the setter can have a big effect in helping that.
Yeah, Cameron, you bring up a really good point, how important it is to talk and communicate during the play. Once you set that ball turning, and you're basically a second set of eyes for that offensive player. And right now, Cheng and Flint dialed in and aggressive as ever, up 14-9. There's the
cut shot. Yeah, we were waiting for its return. You gotta love that beautiful cut shot from Kristen Nuss.
(14-10), Cheng and Flint over Kloth and Nuss. Kloth and Nuss both attended LSU. And there's the stuff down by Kloth. That is what she's been looking for. That's what she is known for. Can she continue to dominate at the net?
Yeah, and immediately you get goosebumps because of the roar of this crowd. They're waiting for a moment and for plays like this. This is the dangerous territory. Don't let them within 2 points. I'm telling you right now.
Whoa, some of her own medicine with the jumbo to the corner. What'd you call it, Cam?
Shrimp and grits.
Smile on Kelly Cheng's face right now. She's playing very loose, serving the ball well. See if she continues the aggression. Here comes Nuss. Flint with a beautiful dig and looking to convert, and yes, he does.
16-11, a 5-point lead.
And that's what I'm talking about, though. Kristen Nuss has done such a phenomenal job in this match, seeing what's available to her and having that down defender try and make a play as they're still moving. But that time, Betsy Flint just makes that much of a better play, gets a hand in it. Nice, efficient side out, or excuse me, transition play by her.
And there is the put away by Team LSU. They trail by 4 points. Interesting tidbit. This is just the second time, Cam, in the last 35 AVP tournaments, which has featured a championship match pitting the top seed versus the second seed. So this is 1 versus 2, but it doesn't happen all that often.
No, it doesn't. And I've still got my hands in the air celebrating that option play from Terran Kloth. That was beautifully done. A new wrinkle added into their offensive scheme there.
I think you should get into coaching, Cam.
I'll leave that up to you. I think you're pretty good at it.
17-12, second set. Cheng and Flint won the first, so they're just 4 points away from becoming champions here in New Orleans. Beautiful dig by Flint, and an option over is Kelly Cheng once again.
12 for Betsy Flint and Kelly Cheng.
As impressive as a play this is for Kelly Cheng, it's an even more impressive play off of the platform of Betsy Flint. That was perfectly funneled right
On
to the
two, nice play from Taryn Kloth.
There's Taryn Kloth putting it down, making it look easy. Just a reminder, Kelly Cheng has one AVP win. That came in 2017 with Sarah Hughes. So it's been nearly 5 years since she's been to the winner's circle, so trying to make it happen. Here's Flint with an opportunity.
That was nuts. Kristen Nuss just ran 3 miles in one rally. Dig after dig after dig. That was remarkable.
And that's what they need right now, Camera. Some spectacular plays. They still trail by 4. And here's Flint coming on the right side. She challenges Kloth, and that ball just out of bounds. The crowd ready to erupt. Thought it was a block, but the point goes to Cheng and Flint.
Yeah, but if that last rally doesn't describe how well these two are going to have to play to beat Cheng and Flint right now, I mean, that's a lot of really gnarly play to take down this #1 team.
Finding the open cut, he closed.
There's that cut shot by Kloth. He hits it at such a high point, puts it so sharp, it's very difficult. But you got to respect it. It's tough to cover that cut as well as the high line. Kloth with the serve, trying to cut the lead. Here comes Cheng, and she freezes the defense. It looked like Nuss took a false step to the right, so beautiful shot right there by Cheng, and now we are looking at already match point for Cheng and Flint. Flint will serve it. She'll challenge Kristen Nuss. Over on 2 is Kloth. It's blocked.
No touch on the block. That will do it.
The ball was never blocked, so it's rule point for Cheng and Flint, and that will do it. 21-15, 21-15, and just like that, Cam, this thing is over. We were expecting, a comeback and a little back and forth, but Cheng and Flint just a little too hot.
A huge congratulations to the New Orleans Open champs, Cheng and Flint. Just absolute domination, 21-15, 21-15, and maybe a little bit too late on the option play from Taryn Kloth, but just lights out play from the #1 seed. Big congrats to Kelly Cheng, picking up her 2nd title on the AVP Tour. Same to Betsy Flint, also picking up her 1st in 2019.
Dear Mainland, aloha. My brother and I hear lots of you have discovered a real Hawaiian favorite, Big Wave Golden Ale. That's the good kind stuff, yeah, bro. Maybe it's the island flavor that makes each sip taste like a little vacation.
Got your beers here.
That's a whole lot of little vacations right there, huh, brother? That's like a big vacation. Retirement. One life, right? Mahalo. Big Wave Golden Ale from Kona Brewing.
Back here at the AVP Pro Series New Orleans Open, we have a newly crowned champion, and that is Kelly Cheng and Betsy Flint, who came out and completely dominated. This one was extremely quick. They had an unbelievable tournament. Both of them so happy to be back in the winner's circle. For Kelly Cheng, it's been since 2017 and 2018 since Betsy Flint has done it. Let's head down to the sand to Mark Sherman.
With the champions, Kelly and Betsy, and it was start to finish. You guys were locked and loaded. I was locking eyes with you, Betsy, as I'm introing you, and it's like you got a little bit of a hostile crowd, and you're like, perfect. I'm in. I want it. What is the mindset coming into a match like this in front of a crowd who's obviously rooting for the other team, but you know, you gotta do what you gotta do.
It was incredible to play in front of this crowd. I love the crickets when we win points. It fires me up, so thank you guys so much. But so much respect to Kristen and Taryn. They've been playing incredible the past couple of months, and I'm excited. We're just really focused and ready to play today.
And Kelly, beginning to end, from the service line at the net, I mean, you were so dialed in. I know Betsy was digging a ton of balls, but it all started with you at the net on defense. How are you feeling?
Feel so good. Yeah, we were very locked in, very excited to play this team, great team, and really wanted it. And it all came together at the right time.
And it's a team, I expect the two of you to go up against each other a few times, or maybe more than a few times over the years. You lost to them in Austin. You know you're probably going to face them again sometime in New Orleans. It happens to be in the final. What has to change? Full game plan change? What was different?
I think we're just really locked in and focused on us, and it worked out today.
And I made a lot of service errors last time, so I had to figure that out.
Well, you definitely didn't this time. You were fired from the service line. Betsy and Kelly, champions in New Orleans. Congratulations, ladies.
So it's the second AVP victory for Kelly Cheng, number 6 for Betsy Flint, but they had an attitude that they were not going to be denied. They came out on fire. It was a hostile crowd against the LSU girls, but I'll tell you what, they made a statement today. It was Kelly Cheng and Betsy Flint, champions here in New Orleans.